With these improving numbers of the COVID-19, ladies and gentlemen, that there are under 300 being treated in the hospital in Maryland, the positivity rate is at 1.63%. There are more than 200 cases reported in the 24-hour period. Now, starting tomorrow, masking for the central office, staff, and visitors, that will be optional. More than 200 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The good news is that there are nobody in the hospital with the virus. They are 0.2% reported for the positivity percentage, bringing the total, as you can see here with the key metrics, they are 1.61%, and 5 people have died. It's been 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, since our fight against this virus here in the state of Maryland, and a lot has happened. The first case was detected in Maryland back on January 30th of 2020, but it wasn't until March 14th when Baltimore reported its first case. As cases continued to increase rapidly across the state on March 30th, Governor Larry Hogan imposed a stay-at-home order for all Maryland with the exception of essential order. Statewide mask mandate was then put in place on April 18th. While there was plenty of uncertainties on what this virus would do next after shutting the state down for almost 2 months, Governor Larry lifted the stay-home order on May 15th. 7 months later, in December of 2020, a major breakthrough. The state's first COVID vaccine doses were administered at the University of Maryland Medical Center in Baltimore. They are under 300 cases reported in the last 24 hours. They are 10 fewer people hospitalized. The positivity rate did not change. It stays the same as of yesterday. However, 18 deaths were reported. Masks are still required on public transit through at least next Friday, but will become optional in city schools beginning on Monday. The experts say that we will get more waves, but there's plenty of reason to be hopeful. Many of these mandates are dropping in concert with the state's COVID-19 key metrics. Case rates, positivity rate, hospitalizations, all at their lowest point in more than 8 months. Epidemiologist Dr. David Dowdy says there will be another wave, but it's very possible that we are at the end of the phase of the pandemic. He also says we are definitely at the point in the pandemic where we should not let the virus run our lives. He says that next wave he expects will likely and thankfully not be as deadly. That's what he expects. The numbers are keeping improving with the COVID-19. They are another under 300 cases were reported in the 24-hour period as of yesterday. They are 2 fewer people in the hospital. The positivity rate has reported just as 1%. Wearing a mask indoors and on the transportation for at least 2 weeks after a community achieves 70 to 90% vaccination would not only prevent hospitalizations and deaths, but will save money for businesses and healthcare systems. That is according to the modeling study in the Lancet Public Health. The cases are definitely showing with under 400 were reported. There are 19 fewer people in the hospital. The positivity rate are definitely keeping improving with the decrease with 0.2% with a total of 1.58%. There are more than 300 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. There are 11 fewer people are being treated in the hospital. The statewide positivity rate has just increased. But even though the numbers are keeping improving, that means the numbers are an all-time low. The global death toll from COVID-19 may be more than 3 times higher than officials suggest. 5.9 million deaths were reported between January 2020 and December 2021. But new analysis in Lancet Estimates Global assess deaths may have reached 18.2 million during that time period. Under 400 cases were being reported, nobody was hospitalized, and the positivity rate percentage is dropping by 1.58%. That percentage that we have seen on Thursday. They are 4,725,000 received a first dose, nearly 4,167,000 received a second dose, 335,400 have received a single dose, more than 2,205,000 have been receiving a booster dose. The total for administered doses are more than 11,433,000. They are 15,148,000 have been distributed with the dose, 4,502,000 have got their fully vaccinated, and finally, more than 90% age 5 and up have gotten at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. If you want to keep on looking at that COVID-19 data chart and COVID-19 vaccination data chart, just in case, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new at this, or you may have seen it before, you can look at it over and over to keep track of the data charts. And if you live in the state of Maryland, whether if you're in Hartford, Cecil, Baltimore, Kent, Howard, Anne Arundel, Montgomery, Frederick, or anywhere in counties in Maryland, and including the Maryland city areas, it does not even matter. To look at the COVID-19 data charts, just log on to their Maryland's link at coronavirus.maryland.gov to click it. It's on the description below.